Do you think it'll be difficult and be expensive to implement AI into business?
So, yes and no. It depends how you're going to implement it and at what journey or jump point you come in to start putting in AI into the business. Now, everyone's heard of ChatGPT. We've
played with it.
We've played with it. ChatGPT and that language model, public language model, are being used to write, summarize, all that kind of thing. So if people want to think about how to get into it and it not cost lots, that we're at this end here, then starting to use those sort of like public language models, also try and avoid using sensitive data in those public language models. If you're going to use sensitive data, then you need to use or have privacy within those public language models so it doesn't record your data and use it for training. That's really important. You can use it for your summary, your emails, your social media posts and things like that. So people can start to get into it. But then if you want to start getting and developing things that like geospatial analysis and then summary and report writing, that's going to be quite expensive. And there's multiple ways you can do that and multiple ways that companies of different sizes, you know, Enzygo's a big organisation, there might be a 10-person organisation down the road. You've got Green Hatch further down the way who do other geospatial type stuff. If you want to really get ahead, you either have to look for someone who's already doing it as a sort of like a contractor to you guys, because let's put it out there, AI is not perfect. No. You know, by a long stretch, and especially if you're doing future planning, you're putting your name to it, you want to be like, right, yes, that is exactly within the. Because
we saw it as doing, like you said, the heavy lifting, taking notes, summarising documents, geospatial data is something that we're really interested in. We use it a lot. Yeah. It's used across all of our disciplines, whether it's noise, landscape, hydrology, ecology, and it's started to just come out there, which is really interesting. Have you, if you were looking at Enzygo as other businesses in our sector, what are some of the best practice uses of AI that you've seen?
So I would start just before the AI. Because it's different in every different business. Yeah. I feel like a bit like a politician here, but everyone's at their different stages of growth. Depending on what you're working with, and I see the biggest sort of use for you guys is really doing that heavy lifting around geospatial analysis. And that is pulling lots and lots of different data sets in milliseconds, answering questions, identifying buildings, overlaying rainwater, all the kind of things like that. That's going to be absolutely massive for you. But there are other people who are using planning tools where you have to interact and work with the people walking around in that area, put up signs, get surveys out there, the impact of what this might be, and do that assessment. You can use it's called sentiment analysis. So you can put a bunch of key phrases in there and say, right, I want disability access, noise, habitat. You might have a stock of 200 phrases that you look at in a report. You can build that bank of phrases, but then you can look at sentiment, whether it's positive or negative. And then what you can do is provide a report back that says, we've sent this survey out in planning, and it's come back and, you know, 5 people had mentioned disability access. These people have said that this is going to be a positive impact, a negative impact.
So to get that data and I'll analyse it and give it in a report, and that probably takes like minutes, which would be a lot of heavy lifting time. So on that sort of theme, how do you think artificial intelligence will make people more productive and basically save money?
Well, if you imagine this, we've had machines building and welding in factories for years. But what sits at the end? What sits at the end of the line? There's somebody with a clipboard doing QA on that. Yeah, you know, I remember I worked in Perkins for a while. There's always someone doing QA. We're going to turn into specialists, hyper specialists, where we're QAing the output because we're experienced. There's a danger of people being coming into any industry and sort of being stuck in a QA role, if you like, without that background, that knowledge that you've got, that you apply. When you see that data, you can go, I can apply this.
So you see it very much as though AI allows us to do more quicker, but the role of the consultant will become more of auditing it, making sure it's the right answer, it's got the right data, because it can make mistakes.
Absolutely. And what's really important in AI or machine learning is it's not just a one-way street. It's not just, we've got a report here. Someone has to go back and say, no, not quite, because you could build your own language model if you wanted to and say, we want to write a report like this.
In our style.
In our style, style of writing, and it built out like this. And what I'm going to do is give you 50 data sets that we've done in terms of the report. We're going to give you the output of what we've given. And we're going to train this language model. So
it's really interesting. I think it's a really interesting topic, and the way and the opportunity it has to sort of revolutionise the way we work. But what sort of advice would you give to anybody who was looking or wanting to start a career in artificial intelligence?
The first thing I would say, don't overcomplicate it, because it's very easy for people to overcomplicate where they want to start. I would say that if you've got a passion for technology and you can apply that to a sector, then look at the opportunities within that sector, because gone are the days of IT managers to a certain extent. You will have an IT manager, but you'll find that more and more IT managers are specialising now. And what you're going to start finding is people are going to start going into those teams as AI specialists, as machine learning specialists. So look at the sector that you want to go into, look at the opportunities to make that more advanced, but also use ChatGPT, find out the outputs that you can generate. What's really important is learn the language of generating the output that you need. Because if you've used ChatGPT, which you have, you have to work in such a way with the language model that you get what you want without doing it 5, 10, 20 times. If you can get that nailed on and deliver the reports or the output that's required, then you're going to be ahead.
No, it makes really good sense. Well, thank you for that. And just to sum up in that, in terms of artificial intelligence, it is quite interesting that it's not going to be something that's going to take over the world. The idea of it being more productive, giving us an ability to do more tasks, but it always still needs that human interaction is really important. And I think the cost base is clever as well, that if you're looking for something, you don't necessarily need to be right at the far end of investing those tens of thousands. You can buddy up with other people or look at other commodities or products that are already out there in order to get it. I think it's really interesting, artificial intelligence. Thank you for listening. Please follow Enzygo on Instagram, LinkedIn and Facebook, and we hope you tune into the next podcast. Thank you.